What's up, everybody? This is King of BEYS. I'm back, and I'm here to talk about claims and proof of claims. Now, you have to understand what needs to be in a claim and how to establish a claim prior to using it in the form of evidence and bringing such action to court. So, I'm going to talk to you about claims and proof of claims, and a lot of this stuff is right within your statutes. You just got to know where to look for it and put everything in proper perspective. So we're going to get started. I'm going to try to not make this video too long, but I want to make it precise so you can get to the, it can hit hard and heavy to the point where everybody can grasp this information. So let's look at proof of claim. Now, the reason why it's under insurance is reserve, valuation, rehabilitation, and liquidation. This is where they foreclose. So you got to understand insurance. When you got to understand that everything is done through bonds, and this is where insurance come from. So you got to understand how to make claims, because there is no money. So let's go back. So proof of claim shall consist of a statement signed by the claimant that includes all of the following that are applicable. The particulars of the claim include the consideration given for it, the identity and the amount of the security on the claim, the payment made on the debt, if any, the sum claim is just owing and that there is no set-off counterclaim or defense to claim, any right, a priority of payment or other specific right asserted by the claimant, a copy of any written instrument which is the foundation of the claim. This is very important. And the name and address of the claimant and the attorney who represent him, if any. Now you can read this other stuff, but I'm just showing you what they're giving you for you understanding how to draft a claim, what needs to be in the claim. And like I try to tell people, copywriting, trademarking, that's a form of claim that you create through an affidavit so that people can identify your property. A deed is the same way. These are just documents that identify rights according to contract. So let's move on. We're going to talk about rejection of a claim. They also tell you how to reject the claim. And it's pretty simple. And a lot of you guys just need to look at this information when reading this stuff and understanding this. You just got to know where to look for it at. Most of this stuff is in your statutes. An executor or administrator or a distributee, these are all trust terms, who received the presentation of a claim as provided in A2 of the section of the BEYS Code shall reject a creditor's claim against an estate by giving the claimant written notice of the disallowance of the claim. The notice shall be given to the claimant under the civil rules. Notice by mail and shall be effective on delivery of the mail at the address given. A claimant may reject in whole or in part a claim that has been allowed, may be rejected at any time after allowance of the claim. So then they got the rules about a claim. A claim is rejected if the executor or administrator or distributee who received the presentation of a claim in Division A2 of this section of the BEYS Code on demand and writing the claimant for allowance of a claim within 5 days, which demand may be made at presentation or any time after presentation failed to give the claimant within 5-day period a written statement of allowance of the claim, the rejection shall become effective at expiration of that period. So when you talk about claims, you just got to understand they're making a claim against an estate. And since you're a ward of the state, everything has to work for the benefit of the public because they have a creditor. So if any private entity making a claim against you, against your estate, since the strawman is a state ward, they go about doing things in a particular manner, and you just have to understand how to read in between the lines, look at your codes, know where to look for to find this information. Let's continue. Right of reimbursement, repayment, and subrogation in favor of reparation funds. So I did a video and I told you, look, when you get injured and you file it in accordance to a statute, all you get is reparations. You get reparations. So when you understand how to contract from the private to the public, and I'm going to use LeBron for example. Let's say LeBron James missed 100 days of the NBA due to the fact that the police whooped on him real bad. Now, not only do he get the reparation from the state statutes and his pain and suffering, but he also get every day that he missed that private contract that he got with the NBA. Do you understand me? So you got to understand this. When you talking about subrogation, they talking about you suing in the form of another, and the state wants to get. When you read this, the state want to get involved. So I'm not gonna go through all of this. You can take the time because I'm trying to make this video sleep. One of the reasons my daughter is asleep. I'm just, my baby, she up here asleep. I'm laughing, giggling inside, but it's just funny. State waives immunity from liability. Let me tell you why the state has to waive a liability. Look at this word. It says the same rules of law applicable to suits between private parties. The state hereby waives its immunity from liability except as provided for the office of the state for fire marshal, and then to talk about that. And consent to sue have its liability determined in the court of claims created in this chapter in accordance to the rules of law applicable to suits between private parties, except that determination of liability is subject to limitations set forth in this chapter, in this case of State University of College, of the revised code, and except as provided in A2. To extent the state has previously consented to be sued, this chapter has no applicability. But let me show you why the state gotta give up this. That's when anytime they take private property and they use it, it will be considered unjust enrichment, and that'll be a violation of your rights. Ta-da! So I'm just in a silly mood. So when you look up this term right here, It says private property shall ever be held inviolate. So let's look up that word. Never to be broken, infringed, or dishonored. Wow. So if they ever do any of this, this is why they have to do this. When they touch this. And you need to understand what's public and what's private. You need to know how to set it up correctly so you can maintain your privacy. Let's move forward. Notice of filing. When a foreign judgment is filed pursuant of the revised code, the judgment creditor or its attorney shall make and file with the clerk of the court in which the foreign judgment is filed an affidavit setting forth the name, last name, address of judgment debtor or of the creditor. So this is what you got to understand when you're dealing in contracts. This is where arbitration come in and all of that. And this is where your court stuff and your court records come in. So let's do this. Just want to show you something. Here's the Must Family Court. When we dealing in property, you come through here, we tell you how to petition, we tell you everything, the evidence relating to the matter and dispute of the case. We can get a judgment, we can authenticate, we show you how, here's the petitions, put it in, you can go to the site, practice area, we dealing all types of stuff. So, we're dropping this information on y'all so y'all can start understanding what we're doing and how we're going to establish everything through estate planning. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what we do. We do estate planning with asset protection and privatization. Let's keep going. So you know what we're doing, how we've been thinking, how we've been moving with this information. Because a lot of people don't understand. So when you're doing this, especially when putting in the contracts, you know how to put the stuff in there to make sure that we solidify and we got jurisdiction over the property. Okay. When you hear this word decedent, they're talking about a person who's dead. Presentation is allowance of creditors claim pending action against decedents. So, presentation of claims against an estate. So even when you die, they could come and sue and still get your stuff. So let's say you owe money, and when you die, they could just come and collect it. They could put a lien, they could go through all that, go to probate court, and still collect, even when you dead. So, just showing y'all something about that, so y'all know you can't run from debt. It'll follow you to your grave. Notice in filing a claim of interest in land. So, the same thing. I'm just going to show you when you're thinking about property. All this stuff is, everything is property. And I talk about what is all property. Everything. So, they tell you how to file it. Be in the form of an affidavit, state the nature of the claim to be preserved and the names and address for whose benefit of the notice is being filed. Contain an accurate and full description. You say land, but you can say property affected by the notice. State the name of each recorder State the name of each record owner of the land or property affected by the notice at the time of recording, together with information of instrument by which the record owner acquired title to the land or property. So, if there was intellectual property, he created it. So you got to. It didn't say be made by any person who has knowledge of relevant fact or competent to testify. So I'm telling you how to correct. They tell you what to do. A lot of y'all just don't understand how to look at everything and find it within your statutes to use your wherewithal or certain knowledge to find certain information to make certain determinations. Here's the civil rules, proof of official records. Go through and study these under Rule 44 within your state. I'm not going to go over this because I got a video going over this already with some of the information. Property. If you took property, you got to put a date, time, when you're dealing with adverse possession and stuff like that. You got to give people time to come and claim their property. You got to send it. It's a way to do everything when you get an adverse property through adverse possession. So we know that 9/10 of the law is possession, and that's according to trust law. And let's just knock this on out. I'm just saying to y'all about ownership. This is another. I'll show you what this word means in dealing with property. This is real, property. This is under remedial law where you get your remedy. First, you gotta know what this word means. A producer whereby seized goods may be previously restored to their owner, pending to the outcome of an action determining the rights of a party. So this is dealing with really repossession of property and stuff like that. I'm just trying to get y'all to understand some of this information. So movement, they call you to move it. When you're talking about property, other person is the respondent. You got to show what they call show cause, order possession. Then you can levy the property or liquidate. So this is something. This is a word you need to look up and study. I'm not gonna go into all of this. I pulled it up for a reason, but I'm just gonna try to make this video short before my daughter wake up. So this is how they tell you how to do it. Identification of agency for whose use and benefit interest in real property. So here we go again. Once you understand what you're doing when I told you about leasing your property, renting your property and all of that, you got to know what you're doing. So they tell you what to do, how to put the instrument together. You just got to understand how to put it down and file it within the state so that now people can be on board and you under contract. So they tell you, for example, if the instrument conveys less than a fee simple in real property, the agency has authority to hold interest in the property its own name. This instrument shall state the interest in the real property is conveyed to this agency. Otherwise, the instrument shall state the interest in the real party conveyed to the state of Ohio for the use and benefit of blank agency. You see what I'm saying? So, but also any instrument of the agency, real property include a deed, transfer, grant, reservation agreement, creating an easement, a lease. You hear me? A lease shall identify the agency for whom use and benefit of the interests of the real party. You got to understand that use in this section, agency means every organized body, office, and agency established by the laws of the state for the exercise of the function of the state. That's why I said the straw man is an agency. So, this is King L. Bay. I'm dropping some science on y'all. Just want to make this video short. Just want to show y'all some stuff about how to make a claim. I know where to find all my stuff in that stuff at. So when you guys, when you get with us, this is what we do. We got a particular manner in which we do all of this. So, like I said, we do privatization. We do what they call estate planning, and we utilize privatization and asset protection so that you can contractual safeguard your property. This is King L. Bay. I'm out. I'm also going to drop some more science on y'all about, I want you to understand this before I go, before I'm out. I want you to talk about, when we talk about privatization and public, when you go into privatization, this is what happens. The government, it regulates. So regulation is the process of government passing laws to control certain activities, often restrict some business activities. Deregulation is the opposite process of government removing these restrictions and granting business greater freedom. This is public, this is private. This is public, this is private. Deregulation and regulation. So the whole purpose is, I told you, privatize, tax avoidance, understanding all of this, having more room, teaching you how to contract, put things in very specific manner so that you can reap the benefits of what you sow. This is King L. Bay showing you love. Also, go to the website, man. To the YouTube channel, man. Go to the Moorish Universal Society of Tribes. Hit subscribe, man. Hit this, boom. Go to the bell icon so you get notified. Check out everything we dropping. Also, I got the book, man. You need child support help. I know you need somebody. I got this information out there. I got a lot of great tips in the book. And those who need it, reach out to us. Go to our Facebook page. Let me go to my Facebook. Hit us up at the Moorish Universal Society of Tribes. Hit me up, man. Here's the number. Also, check us out. Become a member of the Universal Society of Tribe. And we're going to be dropping this science. And I'm looking forward for those who want to become members. Peace, love, and I'm out.